So thanks so much. Oh, thanks so much for that introduction. Like Nate said, today we're going to be talking about one of our brand new products here at Plaid, which is FolkArt Terra Cotta paint. So my name is Jessie Jennings, and I'll be here in the chat if you need anything. Don't forget to hashtag Plaid Crafts if you guys decide to post your projects afterwards or tag us. We would love to see what you guys are making. And Emma is there in the studio. She's gonna be showing us all about this brand new product, letting us know all the features and benefits and amazing ways to use it to create some beautiful things for your home. So I will pass it over to her.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess. So just to continue with what Jess said, today we are talking all about FolkArt Paint's brand new paint, FolkArt Terra Cotta. And of course, we are so excited to share this paint with you all and talk about all the features and benefits of the paint. And we'll show you how to use it in a really fun and unique way today. So if you're just joining us and you've never been to, well, I guess we only really had one other one. If you didn't come to our last FolkArt Terra Cotta class, then welcome. We're excited to have you here. FolkArt Terra Cotta is a brand new paint, like we said. It is multi-surface, indoor, outdoor, and it really makes whatever surface you paint look like terracotta. It makes it look like unglazed pottery. I'll show you guys. It is so gorgeous, and it leaves you with this really like textured finish, and it leaves your surface feeling really hard. As you can see, this was just like a regular mason jar, and we applied some of our FolkArt Terra Cotta paint to it and then added some details with a lighter color, and you get this really gorgeous, unique, like we said, it looks like unglazed clay. It is awesome. So I'm going to show you guys how to maybe upcycle some of the mason jars you have at home or food jars that you would normally just throw away or recycle, and repurpose them into some amazing art. And this would be a great thing to do if you have like an old mason jar or even an old like spaghetti sauce jar, and you wanted to repurpose it and paint some FolkArt Terra Cotta on it and then give it as a gift and maybe put some flowers or a plant inside. That would be a really cool, unique, and of course inexpensive gift. And to say that you recycled it and then gave it a whole new life is even more special. So I'll give you guys some ideas of what I have to work with today so that you can kind of set up your own project at home. And of course, if you have like mason jars or any glass or even metal food containers that you've brought to class today, then those will work totally fine. Here we have this jar of olives, so that's an option. We have some mason jars. We have some soda bottles. And we've, painted terracotta on plastic too. This is a glass one, but some, shampoo bottles are made out of plastic that look like this. That's a great thing to do with it too, and just really give some new life to other things that you would just throw away. We have this cookie tin here, so that's something else too. But let's go ahead and get started. First off, we'll go through, we already went through the surfaces that you can choose to work with today. And next, of course, you'll need some of your FolkArt Terra Cotta paint. So this is what it looks like. It comes in little 2-ounce bottles. We have 18 different colors available at Michael's. And we're so, so, so excited about it. That really like earthy, natural look is so trendy and in right now. So we're excited to be working with it and have a paint that really reflects that. Yeah. Okay, next you're going to need some kitchen sponges. And to go along with your kitchen sponges, you will need some scissors. And lastly, some flat paint brushes. I'm pretty sure we listed a Craft Smart brush set. So really what you need is some flat paint brushes and then maybe some larger round brushes so you could paint some details. Okay, so I'll show you guys the paint in action. So right here we have this little glass jar. And I just wanted to point out too, so this paint is not unique to other paints that you would use on glass. First, you want to prep your glass. And how you would do that is you would get some rubbing alcohol and wipe some alcohol onto your glass and clean it off. Or you can just use some warm soap and water. That way, we can remove some of those oils that we might give off from our hands, and we don't want them to be on our glass and have that barrier between the glass and the paint that we want to be on the glass. So just make sure you clean your surface. And just so you guys know too, if you didn't catch the product or sorry, the project listing, and you like one of these gorgeous, here, can you see them? Okay, Jess? And
Yeah,
you
we're on
like one of
overhead
these
right now.
Okay, and you like one of these planters. The paints we used for these guys are Adobe White, Dusty Trail, Terrazo Tan, Mesa Pink, Earthy Rose, Cool Concrete, and Cavern Moss.
Yeah, and just before anybody asks, Nate just put the supply list in the chat. So all of those colors that Emma just listed are the colors we have specifically listed in the supply list in case you want to reference those later for your projects.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, so let's see the paint in action, you guys. Let's work with our Cavern Moss, which is like this really pretty, almost kind of gray toned jadey color. And you use it just like you use most acrylic paints. You just brush it on. It's super easy. And it goes on super opaque. And we just want to get it smooth because it is a textured paint, so it will keep the texture that you brush onto it with. So
yeah, so we had a couple questions. You kind of answered it as you were talking, whether you could put it on plastic. So FolkArt Terra Cotta is a multi-surface paint, which means you can use it on most surfaces. So it works really well on slick surfaces. As far as plastic goes, I would recommend like a hard plastic because it's probably not flexible. But it really works on wood, you know, if you wanted to do it on canvas, terracotta, if you wanted to paint like designs on your terracotta pots, it works on so many different things.
Yes, and of course we, you know, the color palette reflects exactly what the paint is named. We have beautiful green tones and blue tones, really natural earthy tones that you would find in, you know, terracotta. Of course, all the gorgeous red warm tones, the orangey brownish warm tones. And look how great that coverage is. So let's paint our rim.
Gloria just asked, how about on wine bottles? That would be really pretty.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great idea, Gloria. If we'd love to see it. If you decide to post it on social media, make sure to hashtag plaid crafts. I love that idea.
I would, someone just asked, should you remove the label? I probably would remove the label though, just so it sticks on there in case the label peels off later, the paint's just going to peel off with it. So I would go ahead and remove the label first.
Totally.
Can you use it on water bottles?
Like Jesse said, you know, like we talked about using those plastic shampoo bottles. We're talking about the kind of harder plastic.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a more flimsy plastic, I would probably skip that just because you don't want anything flexible, because if it's moving around a lot, then the paint could crack. But of course, our glass and our harder plastics aren't going to move and be flexible, so the paint won't crack on top of it. Great questions. And look
we have sorry, Emma, one more question.
Okay.
Pam said, what brand of paint? So we're using FolkArt Terra Cotta. It's a brand new art or acrylic paint that you can buy at Michael's. It's a lightly textured multi-surface acrylic paint, so it looks just like terracotta when it's painted on anything. And Pam asked, is it waterproof if you put it outside?
Okay, that's a great question. So it is indoor, outdoor, but if you are expecting a ton of rain, you know, it's always good to bring those crafted homemade projects just inside, you know, under an awning or something, just so they don't get like drenched, but it is indoor, outdoor.
Mm-hmm. So you can get a little bit wet, but yeah, you don't want it to get like soaked or submerged or anything like that. But you can, if you have like a patio or something, or like a covered porch or something, it definitely can stay outside.
Totally. So I'm just, you know, painting over the edge of the rim of my glass just to really make it look like it is a piece of terracotta. And you can see, I mean, when this is totally painted, it looks like it's terracotta, not glass anymore.
Love that.
Look how great that is. And I love the color palette. It is really such a unique way to reuse some of those things that you would normally throw out and give a whole new life to them. And like we talked about in the beginning of the class, it'd make a great gift. Put some flowers in this, and it's super, super inexpensive.
Okay, we have a couple more questions.
Okay.
We have a lot of questions actually. Okay, so Lynn said, if you can't get the paint, what can be used to create texture? So there are a lot of different tutorials and things you can find on Pinterest and whatnot to add texture, but a lot of those aren't as durable. So you can like add different things to your paints to make it kind of like that. The great thing about this is that it is super matte and it is multi-surface. So it's super durable. So it's not going to chip and you're gonna be able to put on lots of surfaces. So that's why we think this one
Right.
is best.
And it's self-sealing.
Yes, and it's self-sealing, which is awesome too. And then we have another question. Would it be safe to put candles in this if you have like a votive or something like in your mason jar?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's not, flammable in, by any means. So I don't see why not. Just, it'd be the same as putting it in a painted glass that you just painted with regular acrylic paint.
Right. And can it be Mod Podged?
Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to paint something, base coat it, and then when it's totally dry, Mod Podge on top of that, that is a great idea. I love that idea. It absolutely can be.
And then we have another question. Instead of painting the whole jar with one color, can we do designs? So Emma's actually going to show us some different designs you can do on your pottery or your fake pottery, whatever it is that you're making at home. And then we have one more comment, and they said, "I'm loving this paint. Just tried the Adobe white, which is the white color in the line, to dry brush an old wicker basket, and I'm impressed with the coverage and how easy it was to dry brush." That's awesome. I'm so glad you loved it.
I love that. That is so awesome to hear. Okay, I'm just going to keep painting, just show you guys how the paint works.
Definitely.
And then we'll get into those details and designs.
Awesome. Yeah, that coverage really is awesome. It looks kind of shiny since Emma's painting it, but that's just because it's wet. It dries to be like super ultra matte, which is awesome because like Emma said, it looks just like unfinished pottery.
Absolutely.
I love that color.
I do too. I mean, and the color palette is unreal. You don't even have to think about it, and whatever colors you choose to buy will make a killer color palette.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong. All the colors look so good together. Will you move it forward a little, Em, so we can see it?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Like that's just one coat. That looks so good.
I'm pretty sure this is a super inexpensive water bottle we picked up, and we just removed the lid. There's a lot of semi-disposable glass water bottles that are, intended for single use. That would be great to paint terracotta on top of.
So Annika said, "What's the difference between terracotta and acrylic paint?"
Okay, great question. So terracotta paint is a type of acrylic paint, except it is a lightly textured paint. And when you paint something with it, it makes whatever surface you're painting on look just like terracotta. Like if you've seen a terracotta pot before, it gives it that lightly super ultra matte finish, lightly textured super matte finish. So it makes it look like just like terracotta, and it's multi-surface, indoor, outdoor. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Em.
Okay, so today for this class, just for speed purposes, we are going to hit our project with a blow dryer, but normally I would probably just wait about 30 minutes for this to dry before I start painting my details on top of it.
Yeah, it dries really quick.
Yeah, so let's use a blow dryer just real quick. Okay. So our next step, we are gonna have some fun with stamps. So you're gonna wanna grab a kitchen sponge and your scissors. And you can grab like a marker or a pen if you want and cut out some, or trace some shapes, I should say, or you can just start cutting these shapes. And we're gonna try to replicate this mason jar right here. And we just made a little triangle shape out of our sponge. We cut it up, and then we're gonna use the sponge as a stamp. And we're kind of trying to make some kind of like desert, almost New Mexico inspired designs.
Love that.
Trim this a little bit. Okay, we're looking to make this triangle shape. And what color should we use? Let's go for Ocean Cavern. This is probably one of my favorite colors. We are going to dip our sponge in our terracotta paint, kind of offload a little bit because see how much paint just got on there? We don't want that much paint. Okay. And we are going to find our long flat end of our triangle, and we are going to align that with our lid. And we're going to make sure that all of the edges get on there. And there you go. And if you wanted to just kind of make, and just because this is a kitchen sponge, you're going to get some air trapped in there, but it's a really fun way to just make your design. And then if you want to touch it up just a little bit, I would just grab a small flat brush and dip it in some of the paint that didn't quite make it in the sponge and just kind of touch it up.
We have a request, Emma.
Okay.
Can you show doing designs on clear glass without a base coat, maybe when you're done?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, maybe at the end we can do something like that. That sounds pretty.
And then you just really want to follow that triangle pattern, flipping sides all the way around the rim of your jar. And so you just need to grab a kitchen sponge and some scissors, and you can make whatever shapes you want. And the amount of sponges you can make is endless. And then you get to just, what I would do after this, if you were wondering how to clean your brushes after using terracotta paint or clean sponges, it is the same with any other regular acrylic paint. You would just rinse your brushes in some warm water and the paint will come right out. Same for these sponges. So you can reuse these sponges over and over again and keep them in your little craft corner. And you just want to smooth out some of those bubbles. And one thing to note too, if I'm leaving any texture, you see right here how when I just went over that with my paintbrush, it kind of left some texture. That's going to dry that way. It's not going to self-level because it's a lightly textured paint. So just be mindful, however you, if there's any texture while you're waiting for your paint to dry, it's going to dry just like that. It's not going to flatten out. How cute.
That looks really good. I love that.
All right, let's move on to this guy. Let's paint another mason jar. And, you know, someone asked earlier if you could Mod Podge on top of your terracotta. Totally. And another thing you can do too, you can do like some decorative painting on top of terracotta with just, you know, regular folk art. If you're looking for a more textured look, then paint on top of it with terracotta. Yeah.
I love that one.
This color.
Yeah, that color, but also that design on that mason jar.
Oh, me too.
It's so cute. I do love that color. That's like the classic clay pot color.
Yes.
When you think of terracotta.
This is called clay pot. You got it.
I thought so. It really does. Like when you paint it, I mean, obviously, you know, it's a mason jar just because of the shape of it, but the texture really is so cool.
Mhm. And I love, painting terracotta paint on mason jars because you have these really gorgeous, they almost look like an applique, but like these, designs that are actually look like they're blown in the glass on a mason jar. So
Mhm.
if you go to your local thrift store and find really intricate glass pieces, but you're not totally sold on the color of the glass, or maybe it's chipped or it looks dirty, just paint it with terracotta paint if you love the shape of it and give that piece of glass a whole new life.
Mhm.
And I mean, you guys are seeing just how opaque the paint goes onto the glass. If you, are used to painting glass with acrylic paint, then you know how unique this is.
Yeah, that's true.
This should make sorry, I keep thinking of ideas. The terracotta is inspiring. This would make a great little party favor if you wanted to get a case of mason jars and get different colors of terracotta paint and paint the mason jars and then put some goodies inside.
That's
That would be
cute.
adorable.
Hey, that mason jar that's laying flat right now with the lines on it, do you know what colors were used on that exactly?
Yeah, let's see. I'm pretty sure it
You can imagine.
was Mesa pink,
Uh-huh.
and I would think probably Adobe white.
Perfect. Yep, you were totally right. That's what they
Yeah.
guessed. So Emma, Mrs. Marie would like to know, is it food safe, or can you use it for birdhouses?
Yeah, so we can't say that it is food safe. It is non-toxic, but we can't say that it is food safe. And honestly, we haven't tested it on birds or anything like that, so we don't know for sure. But I would feel confident painting a birdhouse with this
Yeah,
paint, just
especially
like
the
any
outside.
other.
I wouldn't paint it on the inside of
Yeah,
a birdhouse, of course, but I think it would be, it's outdoor safe. So I think it'd be safe on the outside of a birdhouse.
yeah, exactly. Just like any other acrylic paint, use your best judgment. It's non-toxic.
Mhm. Thanks.
Okay, so let's hit this with a blow dryer. Then get ready to paint. Okay, before we add our details, I just want to touch up some of the spots where you can still see a tiny bit of the glass peeking through. Do we have any questions, Jess?
Nope, we just got a comment. Someone said, yes, I can't wait to make this designs on my pumpkins. I painted them last year with the home decor chalk paint, and this year it's time for a refresh.
Awesome, I love that.
I know, me too.
And I really do, we're talking about how this is a lightly textured paint. I love that texture. I mean, it is so unique. It really looks like it is unfinished pottery.
Yeah, it does.
It is such a cool look. Okay, one more time with our blow dryer, you guys. Okay, so now we can pick a lighter or really a darker color to paint on top of the sky. I'm going to use
So many
Mesa paint.
choices.
I know, really.
I believe at Michael's they have 18 colors. So
Yeah.
all really beautiful, like neutrally earthy colors. So they all go really well together. There's pinks and greens and blues. And of course, there's a lot of like different like brown and like terracotta and like more natural colors. So you really can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to start right where my the rim of my glass starts, and I'm going to start my line there. What did I just do? I guess I had paint on the back of my brush. Okay, and I'm going to bring my brush down, and I'm just using a small round brush. I'm going to bring my brush down. All the while connecting any breaks that I made. Okay, and then till we make that straight line. And now I'm going to go about like an 1/8 of an inch right next to it, do the same thing. And now continuing with those long straight lines, we are going to go about like 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches from our last line and make another straight line.
So someone asked, they said I only have flat brushes. Will this work with a 1/2 inch flat brush? Is there a way to still accomplish this?
Yeah, totally. After this line, I'll show you how.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, let's rinse this brush. So I'm going to take my flat brush. So here's the flat brush I'm using, and I'm going to apply some paint on it. And now one thing I want to do is I want to make my my brush really thin now. So I want to make the top of it thin. And by that, I'm going to kind of offload, remove some of that excess paint from the sides onto my palette. And now I'm going to use the very tip of my brush, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to let that make my line. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So same as before. So our brush is perpendicular to our mason jar. Okay, beautiful.
Awesome. That looks just like the other line.
Yeah.
And Deirdre made a good point. You could also, if you wanted to, do some like really light pencil lines to kind of guide you before you start painting if you're more comfortable with that. But I kind of like the looseness of like just the hand painting, you know, it kind of adds to that like raw pottery feel.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great idea to use a pencil to kind of mark where you're planning on going. Or like Jesse said, you know, just really dig into the
Embrace
natural.
it.
Yeah, embrace it, make some mistakes. Okay, so now if you can see, just like on this pot here, in between our long vertical lines are these shorter horizontal lines that kind of make an arrow. So we're just going to follow this here, and we are going to start in this column, I'm going to call it, and just bring our lines down to the right, okay? And we're going to start with giving it a little tiny line to fill that space. And we're just picking up paint from our palette when we run out. And you'll just see me doing this all the time. Just flip your surface all around, however is the most comfortable to paint for you. Work smarter, not harder. And we're just trying to be mindful that the space in between these lines is pretty even. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to mirror the lines that we just created on the other side. So if the line starts here, I'm just going to follow it and go up. I'm going to want to start exactly where, because our eye is going to play a trick on us and we're going to be focusing really towards the center. So if these 2 points of our lines are even, then we don't really need to worry about like, you know, the rest of this line being totally, you know, mirroring the other side. Does that make sense? We just really want these 2 starting points to be on the same plane. And that's going to make it look super even.
Yeah, that'll just kind of like make it look symmetrical no matter what.
Yeah.
I love that. So we had a lot of people talking about pumpkins in the chat, refreshing their pumpkins. And in my opinion, Michael's has the best faux pumpkins, the best funkins, if you will. They have like really awesome ones for crafting. They're really smooth and they're perfect size. So we will be doing a ton of pumpkin classes coming up in the fall in the Michael's Community Classroom. So in the next couple of months, as it gets a little bit cooler and we're getting ready for Halloween and Thanksgiving, make sure to check out those classes because we do have so many really fun pumpkin crafting ideas to share with you guys. And there might be some terracotta in there, so we'll have to see.
I'm so excited to start crafting pumpkins, but it makes me sad that summer's almost over.
I know, true.
Okay, so we would just really continue this pattern all the way around our mason jar. Look how cute.
That looks so good, Emma. Really, really cute.
Okay, so let's move on to this guy.
He's fun.
Yeah, right. Move him out of the way. And since we have our sponge, if you're working with a 3D surface like I am, let's go ahead and dock it with a sponge so it doesn't roll around on us. Okay, what color should we use with this one?
So we have a couple questions. Susan asked, can you use the paint on metal?
Yeah, absolutely. It's multi-surface. So that means that it works great on most surfaces, porous and non-porous surfaces. Great question.
And then Pam said, do you ever spray it with a coating or an acrylic after you paint with it?
No, you don't need to because it's self-sealing and it is indoor, outdoor use.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to use this Terrazo tan. And the names are fun.
Yeah, they are really fun. Nyara said, cool concrete, they think would look great.
Well, maybe
You
I should
definitely
use...
have some of these at home, don't you?
I know. Nyara. Maybe I will use some cool concrete and take that memo.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm just using this tiny little angled brush to make my designs, but let's mirror what we did on this one. So at the top, we see we want to get some little hash marks. We want to have 3 going perpendicularly, and then 3 going horizontally. Not perpendicularly, vertically.
Perpendicular to the other lines.
Yeah, exactly. They will end up being perpendicular.
Right.
Okay. Just keep on going all the way around, making 3 lines vertically and 3 lines horizontally.
It's really cute.
I love this. I mean, I'll talk about it all day. I just love how it is lightly textured and it really gives it that such a unique look, like you made it out of clay.
And I love the idea of like just trash to treasure. Like that bottle you're painting does remind me, like you said, of like a shampoo bottle. Just like use,
Yes.
keeping your old shampoo bottles, painting with this, putting like little sprigs of plants or little flowers in them. Just such a beautiful little grouping for your house.
Yes. And paint with the seasons, do one for fall, do some for summer. It's so inexpensive. And if you pick out like a really beautiful color palette, I mean, we have, reds and greens and blues and whites. This would be gorgeous in like a white and blue and gray color palette for winter. And then, some of those darker warm tones for the fall. I mean,
totally. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty for like fall tablescapes and stuff.
Yes.
That's gonna be really fun.
Little little mason jar party favors that you painted with like
really cute. Someone said in the chat earlier, like for a wedding, like a boho wedding, this is absolutely perfect for that.
I love that. And so inexpensive.
So cheap. Just go to, Goodwill or the dollar store, or just keep what you have at home, pickle jars and olive jars, like you said, like so cheap.
All the jam, pickles, and olives that you eat for the next month, just save for all your crafting needs.
Exactly. Tell your friends.
Yeah. And in your wine bottles too.
Yeah.
And hey, let's not forget, I have this little soda bottle too. I definitely want to paint that and show you guys how cute that is. Okay, so to make this pattern right below the one that we just did, I'm looking at this so you guys can see. So what we want to do is we want to make ourselves aware of these 3 points, the top of our V and the top of our diamond. So I'm going to make 2 dots, 1, 2, and then a little bit below that, I'm going to make my 3rd dot. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm going to make our V, and we're going to continue around with our 2nd dot and our 3rd dot. Then we're going to make our V. And the reason we're doing this is we just want to be aware of when our diamond is going to start, because we don't want to go too far down or too far to the left or the right and not have enough room.
That's smart. Quick question, can you do stenciling with this?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do stenciling with this. That's a great question. We actually did a little stenciling project. It was really cute for 4th of July with red, white, and blue terracotta. And we painted some blue jars, and then we stenciled some white and red stars. And it was really, really cute.
Yeah. So since this product came out, we're so excited about it. Ever since it came out, every Tuesday, we've been calling it Terracotta Tuesday. And over on the Plaid Crafts Instagram, we've been going live with some just new ways to use terracotta paint, different ways to paint it, different things to put it on. So you can go check out those on our Instagram feed, or come see us on Tuesday. It'll be Terracotta Tuesday again. So make sure to check out the Plaid Crafts Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, so now we are just kind of, going in between those V's that we made and making an upside down V. And then connecting those 2 points at the bottom to make a diamond. And you don't have to be a master painter to do this. I say, the more natural it looks, the better.
I agree.
All right, how cute is that?
Really, really cute.
Okay, let's paint this soda bottle.
Okay.
What color?
Any requests?
I know, seriously. Let's do sea stone.
Okay, I love that one. So Melody is asking, does this scratch off and you don't need to seal it?
It doesn't, you don't need to seal it. And I would just, you just want to wait for it to dry. And then, after, when you leave it overnight to cure, it won't scratch off. It's a great question.
Yeah.
But I would before you stencil on it or anything, or try to, get too aggressive with it, I would give it a few hours to just really set up and cure.
Yeah. So anytime you're using acrylic paint, you want to make sure it cures before you do anything crazy with it. So if it's just for display purposes, obviously you can put it out as soon as it's dry, but if it's going to be like in some kind of heavy use, you want to make sure to follow the instructions on the bottle and let it cure first. And that'll protect it from chipping off or scratching off whatever surface you painted it on. And Emma, don't forget, we want to see it on just clear glass before we're done.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
No problem. I was reminded in the chat.
Thanks.
That's so cute. It's like a little flower in it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, it is non-toxic. Emma's got it all over her hands, but you can just wash it with soap and water when you're done. It's perfectly safe.
I know, I'm just a messy crafter in general. So anytime I paint anything, I sometimes I'll, be crafting and then go to the grocery store and I'm like, there's a lot of red paint on my hands. I'm about to.
Yeah, maybe wash them before you go out in public.
Yeah, but it's non-toxic.
Right. Like any acrylic paint, it is permanent once it cures. So on your projects, or if you get it on your clothes or on your table, make sure to wipe it off right away, because it will be permanent. But on your hands, of course, it'll always wash off with warm soap and water.
Yeah. Look how cute. I don't want to touch
Really
it too much because it obviously is wet.
Oh.
But like Jessie said, how cute would that be if it with a single little flower in it? Even like some dandelions, how cute.
Really cute.
This really elevates whatever you decide to put inside of it.
Your Coke bottles with dandelions.
I know. I mean, come on, we all had Coke bottles with dandelions when we were younger.
Definitely.
Okay. Painting on clear glass. So let's see. Actually, let me grab something else. So we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but it is great to go to the thrift store and pick up some, glass surfaces or metal surfaces that are not your favorite color and give them a whole new life, revamp it.
I love that.
I just wanted to have a smoother glass to work with. All my glass was textured or had an olive jar sticker on it.
Love it. Yeah, you find these little like carafes and vases at the thrift store for like just like $1. You can find these are so common.
Yes.
Melody asked, after it's dried, can you distress it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can distress it. You can use like any of your home decor chalk distressing techniques that you have. Like we said, though, just read the back of the bottle and allow it to cure before you go ahead and start kind of being rough with it. If you were to use like a sanding block or to, do anything like that on top, but absolutely you can distress it. And we have, and it looks great. Okay, so this is our obsidian color. And let's paint some details.
Obsidian is the black color in the FolkArt Terra Cotta line. It's very pretty and dramatic.
What should I paint on here?
Do those lines again. I liked those.
Okay.
You can see, like Emma said earlier, sometimes with acrylic paint, it's kind of tricky to get really good coverage, especially when you're doing like fine lines like this, just because it's such a slick surface. But the terracotta paint just has like crazy good coverage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Melody said, so this is almost like chalk paint, full coverage. Yeah, it really has a similar like opacity as the chalk paint. It really does. But this, like we said, is lightly textured, and it's like, I guess chalk paint is really matte too. So yeah, this is like a lightly textured version.
And I mean, it really does make your whatever surface look like terracotta.
Yeah, it does. This would work really well with chalk paint. Like if you wanted to paint something with terracotta and then paint on top of it with your home decor chalk paint, that would work really well together.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you using the same paint or different? Yep, Emma is still using the terracotta paint. This is the color obsidian. So this is the black color in the line. Maybe you can hold it up when you're done so we can see it really closely.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good coverage.
And how cute would that be if you kept doing like those black details on a clear vase, just like some really minimalistic black details, that would look gorgeous.
I love that. We're getting a lot of requests for different things they want you to paint on vases, but we are running out of time.
Yeah.
But yes, guys, if you decide to do any of these designs like hearts or flowers, please hashtag plaid crafts. We would love to see what you're making. Also hashtag make it with Michael's and Michael's classes so that we can see all of your beautiful projects, because we love to get inspired by you guys.
Yes. So you guys, I think we pretty much covered all of the basics with FolkArt Terra Cotta. We hope that you got inspired to use some FolkArt Terra Cotta. Go to your local Michael's and check it out, grab a bottle and see what you think. If you decide to post your FolkArt Terra Cotta paint projects on social media, make sure to hashtag plaid crafts and a hashtag make it with Michael's. We're always checking under those hashtags and we love to see what you're doing at home. We want to give a big thank you to Michael's for allowing us to be here with you guys today and to do this class. We hope you guys had as much fun as we did, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.